Greetings, Internet. So we are about to go through Equalizers by Softube, which just launched. We're going to do a very fast rundown and show you some of the features on that. I'm going to use some horns that I used on an old song and just show you the basic functions. So we start off with the screen. What Equalizers does. What Equalizers is it's Softube's answer to the FabFilter Pro Q series, and as well as the Waves F6 and other basic EQs with dynamic functions. You can add just buku bands of EQ, all with dynamic functions. I mean, you can just go nuts. Built out just on the screen. Let's go back to default. On the screen, off the bat, just sort of a standard EQ readout, your zero line across the center. As you hover over, you'll see your cursor change to whatever default EQ band is going to drop in when you double click. So if you want a high pass, throw it on there. If you want a bell, hover more toward the middle and add a bell. And if you want a shelf, sort of that midsection between a high pass and a bell, you can add a bell. Also, it has a readout on the top center of the screen of your frequency, your gain, and what note you're sitting on. You also have expanded features from Softube, so your input gain, you can listen to your sidechain and boost or cut your sidechain. On the bottom, you've got a headroom function, which basically just increases or decreases the amount of headroom you have going into the channel. A 12 decibel per octave high pass, a phase invert. Then on the right side, you have output gain. You can actually do some gain matching and also compare versions of your EQ. So if you want to just redo your EQ, you can just go to a second one and redo it without losing the information you have. All right, so we have a horn. We're going to do really, really quick and just show you what we're capable of doing. I'm going to delete this right here. All right, first thing I'm going to do, turn on high pass. All right, and then I'm going to add a little warmth there. You can solo your frequencies. You can also adjust the type of curve you're using. You can do low cut, shelf, bell. You can change your bandwidth by dragging the screen here or scrolling. Over there. This is me just scrolling my mouse wheel. You also double click and type your values. Same thing on your frequency. You can boost and cut by dragging and dropping. High shelf, high cut, and the notch filters for things that are you have very, very annoying resonances or whatever. You can also change your bandwidth on that. All right. Turn that. Say you want to do some dynamics. Bring that in. There's an annoying spot. Okay, if you want some dynamics, you just turn the dynamic setting on. That turns this into a dynamic band where you can adjust your threshold, how hard it's hitting, your ratio, how fast it's hitting. If you want to do 4:1, let's do that. Your attack and release. Let's speed this up. And then how much you are going to be cutting total. So this is the similar to the range function on a Waves F6. And then as this little band moves, that's just it. That's just sort of visual representation of what you're pulling out dynamically. And then you can also turn it on or off each band. Another great function on this EQ that does make it very, very different than the others is you can actually run two separate EQs. So you have your main EQ here, which obviously you just played around with, super fast EQ. You can also add what they call their vintage EQs, which you can choose from any number of EQs that you already have. If you've already bought some EQs in the Softube world. So let's just go through the Chandler Curve Bender. And you see this blue line that popped up. That'll actually show your vintage EQ. So a little warmth at 200. Drop some mud. Drop a little harshness at 2.8. Easy peasy. You see that blue line then just sort of alters your curve. You can turn them off or on by clicking on them. Both your vintage and your modern. All right, that's your fast functions. I hope you learned something. It's very, very easy to use EQ, and basically replaces having to use two EQs in your channel because you can use them both right there. So makes life easy. I hope that helped. Have a good day.